Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I had to restart, but it's cool. So as you can see by the title, I'm going to be sharing with you the symptoms I experienced from weeks 3, 4, 5, and 6. And yeah, so if you're pregnant or you want to get pregnant, these are symptoms that are normal, or this is what to expect when you get pregnant, or you know, if you are pregnant. So I'm gonna talk about them now. So let's get right into it because I know what y'all here for. So week 3 and 4, like pretty much they kind of was merged together, kind of. But I was experiencing like period like cramps. So like in weeks 3 I was experiencing like period like cramps. I thought I was gonna start my period. Like literally I thought it was gonna be a regular month, like boom boom boom. I thought it was gonna be regular. So I would experience those, but they weren't as severe. Like when I'm really getting ready to start my period, like it's a lot of pain. Like I get back pains, I get cramps in my back. I rarely get it in my stomach, but yeah, so I was just experiencing a lot of that. Very mild, I would say mild to medium spice, you know. But yeah, it was like kind of medium. It wasn't light, but it wasn't heavy. And then nausea, I would be nauseous. This is between weeks 3 and 4. I would be nauseous, like off and on. Like occasionally it would just come and then it would go. Come and then go. I'd just be like, ooh, like I feel like I'm about to throw up. Like, ooh. And then and then the thing that scared me the most was I started experiencing pain like in my pelvic area. Like that was scary for me. Like I had to go, like I called the doctor, went to the doctor, everything. They checked everything out, everything was good. But that was making me nervous because not a lot of people talk about that. Like not a lot of people talk about that on YouTube, about experiencing like the pains that I was experiencing. They were sharp pains. Like when I tell you I felt like somebody was stabbing me in my pelvic area, my pelvis, like I thought somebody was stabbing me for like 5 seconds. It would go away like so fast. It would happen if I like moved the wrong way, or like if I was laying in a certain direction, or if I it would just happen randomly sometimes, like laying down, boom, it would just happen and I'd be like, what is going on? Like what is happening? But it would go away within like 5 seconds. And I talked to my doctor, and the doctor said like basically if it's not like a constant pain, because it was severe. When I tell you it was like, oh, like it would stop me in my tracks. If it wasn't like, if it's not constant, you should be fine. So that's what I'm telling you now. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. Do not take my word for anything. This is my experience. But they say don't worry if it's not like consistent, like it's going on for hours, days. Like don't worry if it goes and comes away, if it comes in, goes away within like a minute or 2, that's normal. It's most likely round ligament pains. But I was looking at it like all these websites are telling me that round ligament pains happen in the 2nd trimester, and this is like my first couple weeks being pregnant. So I'm like, what is going on? But all good, all normal. Also, I was super bloated. Like I was bloated to the point where I look like, right now I'm 15 weeks pregnant, and I would be bloated to the point where I looked like how I look now, but it would be bloatedness. Like once I released the gas, it would go back flat. Like my stomach would go back flat. But I was so bloated, it was hard for me to like move. It hurt. If you guys know what being bloated feels like, being bloated is the most uncomfortable feeling. I also had a lot of gas. Like gas was crazy. Like not like, it was gas like gas, and it was also burps. Like I would just burp. I still have a lot of burping, but like I would just be filled with so much gas, and that's probably from being bloated. And I would just, yeah, like that was just a lot. I was lightheaded. Sometimes, occasionally. That was not consistent. I was probably lightheaded like a couple times. It wasn't anything too crazy. I never felt like I was gonna, well, okay, so I would get lightheaded if I did too much. Like, if me and my boyfriend would go to the grocery store, I would get lightheaded. If I tried to cook, I would get lightheaded. If I tried to do the dishes, I would get lightheaded. And it would be like lightheadedness and nausea at the same time. Like, I would just feel like just dizzy. And yeah, that's what weeks 3 and 4 consisted of. Moving into week 5, I was still having that sharp pain in my pelvic area. Like, it was sharp pains, but now, because I knew what, like, the doctor said it was fine, I didn't have the anxiety that came with it in the previous weeks. So the week 5 is when my breasts started to hurt, but they would only hurt like on the sides. So like, I wouldn't have it like all over. It would literally just be like right here. So if I like laid down like this or something, I would feel it. I still have a little bit of that. But that's when my breast started to hurt. I had some lower back pains, but it was starting to go away. And then moving like towards the end of week 5, my breasts were like getting even more sore. Then I started getting headaches. Headaches would be probably because I wasn't drinking enough water, I don't know, or just because I was pregnant, I don't know. And then week 5 is when I got really emotional. Like, literally, I would just start crying. I remember I called my mom and my stepdad, and I'm just like I was just crying because I just felt like I couldn't eat anything that I wanted to eat. Not because I didn't want it, but because during this week I wanted it, and if I could eat it, I would eat it. Like, but I was reading up on so many different things, like, you can't eat hot dogs, you can't eat Subway sandwiches, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can't, you know what I'm saying? I really wanted shrimp scampi, like the shrimp scampi pasta, but it was made with a wine sauce. So I was like, I'm not even gonna risk it. Like, let me just be good. I'm not even gonna risk it. I know they say like if you cook with wine sauce, the alcohol kind of gets burned away, but I didn't even want to risk it. So I wanted that. I wanted hot dogs. I wanted hot dogs with onions and cheese on it and ketchup and mustard. That's what I wanted so bad. Couldn't eat that because they say, like, you know, you can get listeria from like deli meats and stuff like that. So if it's not cooked, like, kind of stay away from it. But like, you can eat it if it's heated up, but I was just like, I just want to stay away from all that stuff. I'm not drinking caffeine. Like, I barely eat chocolate because of the caffeine in there. Like, sometimes I'll sneak a little piece, because I asked my doctor, she was like, chocolate probably has such a little bit of caffeine in it, you should be fine. And you're allowed to have caffeine when you're pregnant. I think it's like, if you're a coffee drinker, I think you're allowed to have like 1 or 2 cups a day. Don't quote me, please talk to your doctor. But I think you're allowed to have like 1 cup a day of coffee. But I want to stay away from all of that stuff completely. Like, I just want to stay away from it. So I was just sitting here like so upset, because it's like everything that I wanted to eat, I couldn't eat. Like, it was like everything that I craved, I couldn't have at all. I was just like, and it was hard enough for me to feel like I wanted to, it was hard enough for me to figure out what I wanted to eat. So then when I did figure it out and I would look it up, it would be like, no, or has to be this, or has to be, I'm like, I don't want any of that. Just tell me what I can eat. Like, that's completely healthy. So anyway, I called my mom, and it was just probably like 11:30, 12. They have work the next day. I called her and I literally busted out in tears, because I was like, I just don't know. Like, I can't eat anything. This is horrible. I want to eat this. I want to eat that. I want to have this. I want to have that. And I can't eat it. It's saying it's not healthy. Like, I was a mess. And then I was watching this show. I wasn't even watching the show. I was on Netflix and I was looking up a show to watch. And this show with like horses came up or whatever. And it was saying how the horses were troubled. Girl, when I tell you, I started busting out crying. I'm on the phone with my best friend. I'm like, I started busting out crying. She's like, what are you crying for? I was like, I don't know. It's just the word troubled horses that just got to me. Like, I didn't, it just really triggered me. It triggered something, the fact that it was troubled horses. I don't know, like, it's just, and I just busted out of crying, like a full ugly cry. Full ugly cry. So, yeah. And then that's pretty much week 5 symptoms. And just to let you know, like, the symptoms from the previous week continue. Like, I was still gassy, I was still bloated, I was still lightheaded, still nauseous, still all of that. Week 6. Week 6 I was more nauseous. Week 6, that's when I started getting really nauseous, like consistently, to the point, and I had a lack of energy. And when I say lack of energy, like I literally wasn't sleeping all the time. I literally just did not have the energy to do anything. It literally felt like it took everything in me to do anything, like to even take a shower. Like if I wanted to take a shower, it was like a full task. And after I got out the shower, I would sit in my bed in my towel for like 2 hours to like regain enough energy just to put on some clothes, or just to put on my deodorant, or put on some lotion, or, you know, go brush my teeth. Like literally taking a shower was a full on task. It was not relaxing. It was not any of that. You know how like when you go on your period, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna get in the shower and relax. No, okay, it was a task. Everything was a task. Everything that involved getting up, standing up, walking somewhere, doing something was a complete task. And I could only do it for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And this is because around this time, I was so nauseous that I wasn't eating. Like literally I lost 15 pounds. I lost 15 pounds since I've been pregnant. I think I'm starting to gain my weight back now that I'm in my 2nd trimester, but I lost a total of 15 pounds in my 1st trimester, and that's because I couldn't eat, and I wouldn't want anything. I had a lot of like food aversions to everything. This is the week that my food aversion started. I like literally I love wings, completely love wings. Literally I couldn't eat wings anymore. Just the type of meat that's in the wings, it would gross me out. I could eat chopped up like chicken breast, and which is odd because before I was pregnant I didn't like chicken breast at all. Like it was just so dry, I didn't like it. But like now that's the only thing I can eat. Even still to this day, like I can bear a chicken wing, but it's just not appetizing to me anymore, which is crazy because if you know me, you know I love me some wings, all flat, extra crispy with the buffalo sauce. Love it. Not anymore, no. but yeah, yeah, I was having food aversions to literally everything. Wings was the worst. I would think I wanted something, I'd be like, hey babe, like can you pick me up this? He would go get it for me on his way home from work or something, bring it back. It would get in front of my face, I would smell it and be like, never mind, I can't even eat this anymore. Like can't even eat this anymore. I love crab boils, love crab boils. Stop eating seafood just because you're not really supposed to eat seafood when you're pregnant. I mean you can for sure, like I said, I'm not a doctor, look, but it's advised to eat it in moderation because of the mercury in it. So like I said, I really try to stay away from, in the 1st trimester I was really trying to stay away from all of that, like completely. But I was crazy, like I really thought in that moment that I wanted the boil, like the crab boil. So I'm like, babe, can you get me the crab boil with no seafood? So I just got the potatoes and the eggs and the corn. He brought it back. It literally got in front of my face. I took 2 bites. I took some of the eggs. Didn't want it. Eggs, couldn't have eggs. Like if they were scrambled, I didn't want them. That's gross. Like the scrambled eggs, the smell of the scrambled eggs would just gross me out. Still emotional, very emotional. Like I would just cry. Me and my boyfriend were arguing a lot more than usual, probably because I was emotional and he was probably not knowing how to deal with that. Like because I'm not that emotional regularly, like I'm pretty chill. So I think me being like the way I was just like not in the mood for anything. Like he would tell me like, oh, I come home and I just want to like chill with you, and you just don't, your energy is just wrong. Like, and I'd be like, I don't know, I just don't feel good. Like, I'm nauseous, I don't have the energy to laugh at your jokes, I don't have like, it's like literally you're not funny. Like nothing was funny. The only thing that was funny to me was like if I was just by myself in the room watching my shows. Like literally I binge watched 11 seasons of Modern Family, and that was the only thing I really laughed at. Like, but like when he would come home and like try to play or joke around, I would just be like which is so messed up, but it's like I couldn't control it. I just didn't have the energy to like, I don't know, I don't really know what it was, but my breasts started hurting a lot more. Like even when I wasn't touching them, they would just like kind of throb. They would just like I would just get little like shooting pains through my nipples. And yeah, and my cramps, they started to, like the cramps in my back, they started to lessen. So they would only, like I would start to get the cramps in my back for like 5 seconds and then they would go away. Then in my lower belly, it started to feel very heavy. Like it just felt full. I just felt like I was full. But mind you, I wasn't eating much. Like I wasn't eating it. It was so hard for me to eat. I literally ate so I could take my prenatal, and then I would try to just snack kind of throughout the day. I talked to my doctor about it. If you're experiencing the same thing, I talked to my doctor and she basically told me like just try to eat about 8 small meals a day. She was like, even if it's just like, you know, a couple slices of apples and peanut butter, you want to kind of, when you do snack, you want to eat proteins, so nuts and stuff like that. Like yeah, she told me apples and peanut butter, fruits, crackers, stuff like that, because you want to get your protein. And then I started drinking Ensure, because I was losing weight so fast. It had been like 3 weeks and I had already lost like 10 pounds. So because I started losing weight, I started drinking the Ensures, which are like little protein shake type things. And so I was kind of getting my protein through that, and I was making sure that when I was not eating, I was making sure I took my prenatal vitamin every single day, because the first trimester is very, very crucial. Like your first trimester, a lot of people think, oh, it's barely a baby, oh, everything is forming in the first trimester. Everything is forming. I'll just tell you that. Like I'm not gonna read like everything that it was telling me, because I have the app. I have 5 apps actually. If you know me, I'm a little crazy, but I have 5 apps. I have the Flow app, I have Baby Center, I have WebMD, I have What to Expect, and I have Pregnancy Plus. My favorite is Pregnancy Plus, because literally like it shows you the baby, like, and you can hear the heartbeat, like, and it shows you like what your baby looks like. And I think that's so cool. Like, why did I say that? Oh, that's another thing that I started experiencing. I could not remember anything. I literally had pregnancy brain from the beginning. Yeah, but yeah, so that was week 6. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, put them down below. Comment down below. But yeah, I experienced a lot of stuff. Yeah, this first trimester was it was a doozy. Like it was truly a doozy. Like literally I did not get out my bed for 3 months. I know, it was horrible. But like I said, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment down below, or you can ask me on my Instagram page. I'll put all of that information below, but my Instagram is @jlindsay. I'll put the spelling down below. I'll do all that for you. So yeah, tune in next week, and yeah.